All right, Tuesday. So let's start with some of the shitty stuff. Okay, so first they have done is upgraded all the legends. Anyone who has ascended a legend to a single pink star, your stats have changed, your leader skills have been improved, you no longer intensity, and basically they made it a Gen 3 card. Everything about it is a Gen 3 card. They did change a few things. I'll go over what I've noticed that they've changed and compare it to the last one I have not ascended. And then I'll show you what improvements they have made for if you 2 pink star it. Because there is going to be a bonus for a second pink star. Beast Killer. That's going to be the most important thing for this event is Beast Killer skill. This will be the 3rd Beast Killer skill they have offered. FYI, every legend boss that's gold requires Beast Killer to kill, except for the Storm. That one requires no chaotic. So this deck, the Stalking Nightmare, and then the Goblin, Christmas Goblin with the Leading Light, whatever they call that one. Those are the only 3 cards that are have killer skill against legend bosses. And then the only one that has one against the Storm is the first blue one, the Fist of Islam or whatever they call her, that chaotic. That's the only one that'll take that one on. So that's this. And then now we have Slayer challenge bosses. In order to face these challenge foes, you must first prove your might by taking down trial bosses. To unlock trial bosses, you must first get solo bosses levels to 150, then collect trial tokens by MVPing Radiant and Cobalt bosses. Beware, your attempts are limited to once every 4 hours, so make the shots count. Once the trial bosses have been slain, challenge bosses are permanently unlocked. Challenge bosses are highly difficult bosses which rely on their own independent keys from normal bosses. In order to claim the rewards of those difficult bosses, you must come equipped to deal serious damage, as they pose no participation rewards. On top of this, they cannot be rallied, so you must rely on your own might to take them down. Because of the Beast Killer skills, most ultimate forms from past events are going to be junk. I believe it's Arcane is the other killer skill they said that would be Arcane. So there's a possibility that you might be able to be okay on something. One of these might be Arcane. I'm not sure which one. We'll have to see. So Earth Armor. Dark is going to be Might. Not concerned with that one at all. Water, Toxin can be an issue. Light, Gem Silence. That's going to be a pain in the ass. Fire, Fear. That's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass too. Okay. So we'll start with the fact that this is a crystal event. No runes. Dust only. I've seen some posts on the forums that says the reason why they've done 2 of these in a row is that when we get to the Light Slayer event, that is supposed to be a player celebration event. That would be the correct time frame for one. If that's the case, it's been quite a while since we've had a player celebration event. The last time I can honestly remember having one was Fire Slayer deck, and that was the Gemfall deck, and then the blue Commander deck, and that one is the one I didn't like, and that was the one with the special tile. So we'll see if that's what's coming along or not, but for now we'll start with what's going on with the event in just a second. Okay, so we'll start with the event card. This requires warp drives because this is technological. I'm not sure how technological gets Beast Killer skill, but I'm not in charge of this. So this will create 3 fire gems. If Onslaught is active, we'll create 3 power gem 1s instead. This will go up to 4. So it'll create 4 power gems, or 4 gems, and if Onslaught's active, it'll create 4 power gem 1s. This defender skill is power gem silence, not gem silence, power gem silence. So if you're creating regular gems, you're fine. If you're creating power gems, you're screwed. This one's kind of a weird one to dispel. Okay. If they'll give them to me. No. Well, okay, it's not going to. Alright, so let's go with support card real quick. So the support card is going to decrease the damage taken by up to 16%. I'm assuming this will go to 20%. At a rate of 4 plus 4% at additional 100 skill points, and expecting that to go up to 5% for the next turn. And if this hero attacks while this skill is active, spawns 8 gems and applies the Onslaught status for 1 turn. This is very familiar with one twist. So instead of being hit, you have to attack with this skill being active, and then it turns the Onslaught skill on, which is not going to matter because if you attack, then you're going to get hit next anyways in most Slayer events. It actually sets it up kind of nice because if you're not paying attention, you can attack and then set up instead of having to wait to get hit. So they kind of fixed that one little issue. We'll dispel armor. Of course, this will increase your Slayer intense skill points. Next in line will be the Ultra Rare. The Ultra Rare will decrease your damage taken by 20% at a rate of 5 plus 5. Same as the other. Passive, when 10 Fire Gem 1s or greater are on the board, will increase your Fire Slayer attack by up to 24%. This is where the Toxin stuff comes in, is because they'll prevent this from happening. No, I'm sorry. Toxin will stop a heal. If it's a heal factor, it'll stop it. Weaken will stop this. Of course, Beast Killer skill. And this one will dispel the Weaken. So if you get hit with Weaken, this will not work. So weaken will prevent this from being able to work. Also, if this hero attacks while this skill is active, we'll create 4 Power Gem 2s and apply the onslaught status for 1 turn. So they actually fixed this to where this deck will actually fill the board with gems. Kind of nice. Creates 5 Power Gems. If onslaught's active, 5 Power Gem 4s instead. Charge rate 6 gems. Cooldown 1 turn. Pretty basic. Passive skill will cleanse 1 enemy debuff from a hero at the beginning of a turn. It has a 3-turn cooldown. Power Gem silence. And then when you make the ultimate form, kind of does the other one, kind of negates itself. Spawns 5 Power Gems. If onslaught is active, makes 5 Power Gem 4s instead. Decreases the damage taken by up to 20% at a rate of 5. Once active, this hero will skill active, will spawn 4 Power Gem 2s and apply an onslaught status for 1 turn. So basically, you'll never get... This card cannot produce the Power Gem 4s by itself. You got to have either Ultra Rare or the support card to help it. When 10 Power Gems or 1s are on the board or greater, it will increase Fire Slayer attack by 24%. I do not know if this will stack. I'm sure it will. It doesn't say it doesn't. Cleanses an enemy debuff from a hero. Of course, he'll create the Ultimate Fire Gem. Ultimate Beast Killer by 400% for the entire team. And now we dispel Weaken. Past Ultimates. If you have this one, as I do, this will be the Arcane. This one will be a nice one to have on the team. I think if I remember right, you set this one, you just tap. I don't have that. I have that. So, applies the Mystic Maul to up to 3 Fire Slayers. And Mystic Maul creates 2 Power Gem 2s and dispels 1 enemy debuff the next time you're hit by an enemy. And it lasts for 1 turn. On the next turn, creates 4 Power Gem 4s. And if there are 4 more Power Gem 4s, it will heal for 300% hero recovery. So right here will be your healer. And then when you're hit by an enemy, will automatically create 2 Power Gem 4s and dispel 1 enemy debuff. So basically this will keep... Oh, and it also dispels armor too, that's right. So this will be another one to have. This will just kind of keep things going. Plus this one will do skill points. Basically this one can replace the... event card. And then if you have this one, which I do not have, wish I did, creates 8 Firepower Gem 4s and attacks for up to 148,000% of attack. Costs you 50 skill points. This is a chaotic killer. And we'll dispel drain. It's a lot of power gems. All right. Now for your past hero potentials. Increases honored hero attack by 30% plus 3% per 10 intensity, rounded down for 1 turn. This ability you can use every turn. At the beginning of the turn, with a Firepower Gem 2 or higher on the board, we'll create another Firepower Gem 2. Dispels fear. You can use this card to help dispel the fear for... the Frenzy bosses, but other than that, I don't recommend this card at all. Flameheart. Generates 5 Fable Intensity, attacks 1500%, and then heals for 1% for every 2 stacks of Fable Intensity, up to 50% maximum. Every 2 to 5 turns, casts Heart of Flame for 1 turn. This empowers Silverhoof or Master Lance. This one will dispel Gem Silence, not to be confused with Power Gem Silence, but Gem Silence is one of the skills for the Frenzy bosses, so this one can be used for that as well. Other than that, this card isn't super important. This is more of a, you got to have rest of them to make it work. Lastly but not least, this little gem adds 5 Corrupt Intensity and then attacks for 1000%, plus 125 per 5 intensity. If you're below 40% max health, will spawn 3 gems. Dispels Weaken. This is Corrupt. I actually still currently have this one in my inventory because I'm trying to use it to get past one of the levels on the Spire, and I'm not getting very far with it. This card is pretty much junk too. So, those are your event cards. So we'll go with some of the other stuff real quick. So for relics, if any of you got it, there was a red technological relic that they did offer for a while. Here it is. If 10 or more power gems exist on the board, receive 10% less damage for 1 turn as technologicals on the team. Doesn't give you a power gem, but it does create 4 fire gems at the beginning. Increases attack by all heroes for 1038%. It does something. There is no way I'm reforging it to make this sucker. I got 2 of them, and it's commander only. So it is an extra relic. Other than that, I don't have any other technological relics that are fire. There's blue, couple greens. So you'll have your, where's the bomb at? You have the Goring Glove, and the other one I'm blind to right now. There it is. The Bacon Bomb. Those are the only Slayer relics that we have right now. This next one will be the next relic we get. So those are all the Slayer relics that we have. If you have Raised Staff, that's another good one to have. And then Legends. Okay, so actually we won't do that one first. Let's get down to Ray. Where are you, Ray? I have started gathering what I need to ascend him, but I'm not there yet. He shouldn't be this far down. Alright, I missed him. Filter Fire Generation 1 set. What the? Generation 3? Oh, they've already made him a Gen 3, just I haven't ascended him to make him a... Okay. He's still not empowered though, right? Yeah, he is. Okay. So we'll see what's different then real quick. Oh, I already can see it. Never mind. Okay. So, the 300% damage hit points for all fire heroes, and in the Legend Trials will break rooted armor by 6 per hero attack. This effect does not stack. The highest power of rooted armor will be used. Increases self attack by 100% for 2 turns, and then attacks all enemies for 10,000% of attack. This hero is empowered, does 10 times damage against Earth enemies instead of 2. Pretty much the same on the defender skills and the counter skill. So they will remove poison and blind, and then armor and might. So this is another chance for armor and might for people who need to use that as well. Still does Slayer, still does Commander, still is a Bounty Hunter. Alright. Now we will do... Now here's the difference once you ascend them. Increases self-attack by 200%, and now attacks enemies for 15,000% instead of 10,000%. Passive, instead of generating, I'll double check that. This one will generate 4 Dark Power Gem 1s every 4 turns. This one also does 300% hit points of damage for all heroes in the Legend Trials, and breaks the radiant armor by 7 regular hero attacks. This effect does not stack. Now, when you evolve this to a second pink star, this is where these cards start getting to be very interesting. So, 300% damage for all hit points and heroes in the Legend Trials, breaks the radiant armor by 7, does not stack. Still increases self-attack by 200%, 2 turns, attacks for 15,000%, generates 4 Dark Power Gem 1s. Here's where it gets nice. When this hero attacks, increases any dark skill point by 18. Not 10, 18. This basically turns into a leader, hero, support card. And still will counter blind and poison. Remove blind and poison from all allies and armor and might from enemies. So, these cards are now very, very worthwhile. I do not know what a 3rd pink star, because I think that's what the max is on them, is 3 pink stars, but wow. Very, very much useful now. That's what they did with the new legend cards. So that is your event deck. I've got it kind of mixed up so I can get the most amount of gems as fast as humanly possible right now. We'll see how long this deck lasts before I start mixing and matching. Of course, once I get a chance to sit down and mess with it, I will have counters and everything set up for all the different bosses and have them labeled. Once killer skills are figured out for each boss, I will then readjust every one of the decks or rebuild decks as necessary so that we can mow through as many bosses as possible. Again, if anyone has any questions, don't hesitate. Feel free to ask. More than happy to help. And as always, good luck to everyone, and Happy slaying.